bitch hella funny. Oh, y'all niggas are stupid. Oh my God, I'm sending this shit to hella people, huh?
Welcome back. You know what I'm saying? It's another episode of Anything But Irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? I got the Queen Dre with me.
What's up, y'all?
Got that boy Syfe with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got my boy Rilo with me.
Hello.
This motherfucker here.
Man, every time, always.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, great.
Man, boy, it's Sunday, boy, but I need another weekend shit.
Honestly, though.
Really. Need another weekend. Run that hoe back one time, man.
Run that same weekend back.
Run that hoe back, man. You made some mistakes.
I am so nosy. I want to know what they did.
Listen, this dude sent me a whole 2-minute message. He was laughing the whole time, talking about some, bro. You won't even imagine what happened last night. Just laughing. I'm thinking he gonna get into it. He's like, bro, I'll tell you when I see you. I'm like,
I hate a nigga who just wait to tell you a secret.
know.
Like, bro, just tell me right now.
And then let the story not even be as exciting as you make it seem.
No.
Like, that is so fake.
Man.
Is she shining?
Oh, word? Okay.
Is she shining?
Let's do it, man. Man, go ahead and give him that intro for the day, man. Start it up.
yeah, I hooked him up with a small little intro. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back. But the reason why I started this out with the whole March Madness theme song, you know what I'm saying, is something that happened this week with the ladies and the men's discrepancy
with the NCAA
in their NCAA tournament. You know, the March Madness tournament, and we ended up sending her the pictures. I'm sure y'all all seen it probably on
everybody's seen it now.
And Instagram and everything else. But the discrepancy between the men's equipment and the females' equipment is wild. Like when I seen that, I'm like, man. So first off, when I just seen the clothing and then the bathing products,
right? You
know what I'm saying? The dudes had 3-4 shampoos and body washes and deodorants and everything else. The girls had one secret, one body wash, and me knowing females and they're very hygienic and what they have to go.
I know, and you give men the most
through,
products,
That first off was like, okay, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because I know females, females and their hygiene is, it's really big. So that was really fucked up. Then I seen the weight room and I was like, oh, I mean, listen, I don't know if girls will really lift weights like that.
Wow.
We do. We do.
We started.
I was like, there may be a reason why they didn't really put much into their weight facility.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because outside of regular practice, do you really go to the weight room?
I mean, the question for that one would be
no
that. What I'm saying, because you're already in a tournament. If anyone who's played sports, especially collegiate, when you're in such a tournament, I think that you would want to minimize
the weightlifting.
The weightlifting anyway. So the weight room, I don't think really was that much of a problem. My problem was more so with the discrepancy of the food, the toiletries.
That was my thing. Food and toiletries.
It's all.
Yeah.
It's everything for me.
And the thing is, they're in the same place,
right?
So it's not like
there's really no
excuse.
We're
in a different area.
Absolutely,
hey,
no
that's what they give us. This, no. But me personally, I think it really comes down to revenue and basically. What they're bringing in. And I think that's why this discrepancy happened, is because, NCAA March Madness, as far as men's basketball, probably brings in quite a bit of money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Females, I'm not sure. I'm not going to say it doesn't bring in as much, but I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play it safe.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and somebody opened my eyes to this. They say, hey, if we put $10 million into the men's basketball, we're going to get that $10 million back plus, what I'm saying? Possibly double between, tickets and TV, food, all of that stuff. With the women's, if we put in $10 million, we might not get that $10 million back. So because they're not getting the same views, they're not getting the same.
But that stuff is irrelevant in college sports, though. So if we're talking about NBA, WNBA, that completely makes sense because women are not making that kind of money. They are not on the same. But with NCAA, there's a thing called Title IX that's in place, which basically it's to make everything equal. Every single sport, doesn't matter. Every single sport is equal. Essentially, they get the same amount of money. They get the same type of like equipment.
Okay.
Those type of things. So with it being in collegiate sports, like there's actually no excuse for them to be like selling women short because it's not revenue based.
Okay, so what you're saying is basically no matter what revenue,
right? As far as college sports go, revenue doesn't actually matter. And now football might be a different situation because how football players. That's a whole different situation.
So I'm thinking of the first thing that comes to my mind is Alabama.
Yeah,
Alabama damn near wins the national championship almost every year.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that fund everything?
No.
Does it stay in
so
football?
Title IX works. Title IX works for male and women's sports. Like since there's no like women like football team, they have a whole separate like revenue that they go off of. Now if like there's a women's soccer team and a men's soccer team, they get equal amount. So it's only on the sports that have men and women both.
Okay.
So the men and women's basketball, they get the same amount of money.
Pretty much the same
funding.
So
that's essentially what Title IX is literally there for, is to protect that and to make everything equal in that sense. So it's not like somebody's left out. So looking at the way they just completely like just disregarded women and like completely kind of downplayed it, because like I don't think people take like female athletes seriously. Like I feel like they downplay it. And I'm honestly, like, you don't understand. Like women are like, we are athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like
in certain sports though.
Yeah.
In certain sports, like in your gymnastics, in your soccer, they take them seriously.
Period.
But when it comes to like basketball, really outside of basketball,
anything outside of basketball, because like, and I don't know, I just think it's odd to me. But like just looking at even the weight room, like just even pre-games, like we would work out. You don't lift heavy before working out, but like lifting does help. Is if you're not doing it like stagnant type stuff, but lifting does help warm your muscles up and gets them ready and keeps them in shape for that event. So they're not training hard. They're not doing like, strength building exercise with those. They're just doing maintenance with that. So they do need the weight room, the squat racks, all those other things to maintain and be able to maintain the same type of regimen they'd had throughout their, entire season. And as far as food goes, that's just unacceptable. Like,
that's just unacceptable.
I don't know how you got away with that. Like, what were you thinking? You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know what they were eating. When I was looking at the pictures, I was like, what is that?
Like, ew.
I couldn't even make out what it was.
And yet the boys have the big buffets where you can have multiple options and get as much as you want. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's a mess. NCAA, shame on y'all for that, because y'all knew what you was doing. I don't want to hear an apology. You knew exactly what you were doing.
So look. So reading in the live comments right now, someone said that, well, we already know that it's a quick, like, basically a way too much imbalance in coverage of men versus women.
Right.
So what people were saying, like, because, you guys brought up the revenue, and it's like, thank you for, like, clarifying that with the, you said that, that the funding is to basically for both teams, but the coverage for some reason is way less. Like I have seen like Kansas when they were horrible be on ESPN, ABC, CBS. I have seen UConn, the best team like ever. We can like forget sports.
Yeah.
UConn
women like has been the best dynasty ever. Besides UCLA, John Wooden and them boys, and the coverage on them versus the coverage on Duke, who literally can't, get past the Final Four or even get to the Final Four, it is like staggering. And I feel like with women, and not just women, just like the whole sport aspect of it is, you get this thing where it's like male society has already deemed women like less worthy to be, you feel me, on that stage.
Center stage.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's a bigger point.
Before you get deep into that, who watch man basketball?
Men's basketball?
Mostly men.
Yeah.
Who watch women basketball?
Women and men.
Mostly men.
I was about to say probably
mostly men.
I guess I speak for myself.
So it's you can't say it's like we trying to take over. If a woman watched more of their sports, they would get more support.
Yeah,
and they would have more money. But they're not watching.
Well,
and one of my partners said that same exact thing.
Well, that makes sense though.
Like even women don't watch their own sports. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can we expect y'all to make the same type of money we do when your own women don't support your sport? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think it's just because like even growing up, like all the boys always played sports. You know what I'm saying? Since like I could remember, like in elementary school, the boys were always playing football or always doing.
Oh yeah, it's ingrained in us.
You know what I'm saying? And women were out like they're doing other things. Like the girls were out there doing other things. So I feel like every female athlete I personally know, just being an athlete myself, like all through college, like we all watched our sport. You know what I'm saying? And then some. Like I love watching track and field, gymnastics. Like we watched all of those, but like not all women are like
sport
mindset. Yeah, because like it takes a different level of understanding. Like not like most girls that sit there and watch football have no fucking clue what's going on. They're just like, okay, touchdown. Like they're really just looking at the guys type stuff. But like to actually like get like a loyal fan, you really do have to understand the game. And I feel like that's just where men and women differentiate. Is like even if men aren't an athlete, you understand the game. Yeah. Like I know a plethora of men that just have never played a sport in their life, but understand the game, and therefore it's something that's entertaining to watch.
So do you think, I mean, as far as all of this, the whole revenue discrepancy, do you think it comes down to just revenue? Do you think it is a man and female thing? I mean, what do you think the reason was behind the NCAA doing what they were doing?
So, well, initially the NCAA released their statement saying it was due to space issues. That's why they couldn't get all these things for them, is because of like space. But then, I forgot her name, but she's on University of Oregon's basketball team. Yeah, and she put a video out like, we have ample space. Like there's literally nothing but space here for us because you gave us absolutely nothing anyway. So it's like, I think it's just an excuse. I think that's kind of like a scapegoat. Is just like an easy way out, saying, oh, there's not enough space. And then when they pointed out there was space, now it's like, okay, we just, didn't have the equipment. They got the equipment donated. Like, it wasn't even the NCAA that provided the equipment. It was, like, all these other gyms and stuff that were donating their equipment for these women to use. So it's like, NCAA they just completely disregarded and didn't care. But like, and then got caught up.
I want to ask the question, like, I think John was asking is, like, why do you think that? Like the bigger, like, deeper meaning behind it. Like, why do you think that happened?
I think that kind of stuff happens in like everyday life. It's not just women's sports. It's like it's in every type of like field. You know what I'm saying? For
That's
women in general. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all just kind of plays a part in like the same system, like, the system that we live in. Like it just is what it is.
Everything is kind of
it's a man
gender
dominated,
bias.
Yeah, it's right. We live in a very like man dominated society where women are not given like the same type of opportunities that men are, and we also have to work twice as hard to maintain said opportunities. Yeah. So it's just like, I feel like if everybody were given the same like to start off with, it would be a different story. But it's just not realistic at all.
So going from NCAA pretty much into the real world, do y'all believe that there is a real gender inequality, like a gap?
Oh, for sure.
Between females and males.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay, well, I have to actually be the devil's advocate on this.
I will be today.
And of course. I have to be the devil's advocate on this one because in my view coming up, to be honest with you, it seems like women, they have the power now. You know what I'm saying?
We're starting to realize. I think women are starting to understand their
women
worth
have
now.
the power. So I've been to plenty of different industries. I've been oil industry, fucking parole, working for the state and everything like this. I've always had women managers for one. So I don't know if women are just moving up in the quote unquote civilized, I don't know, general workspace.
No, it is. That is
because listen, when I was on parole, all of our supervisors were women. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, we're not. A man's not dominating in this field.
So I always say it's like almost like a reflection of like even the old, how they, the housewife type thing. Women took care of the home type thing. A man is out working, you do whatever. So I feel like it kind of like that kind of mindset that women have kind of now gone into the job field. So now it's like they're, using that same like take care of home, like, whatever. Like I don't know how to explain it. But they're using that same type of thing now in the job field, like the workforce. So they're getting, I personally think women are better managers because I feel like they're more logical as far as like emotions, you know what I'm saying? Like their emotions are way more in check. They're not like, it's not an ego based thing where it's like men. What? Not even what? Don't do what?
Emotions,
God damn, here we go.
Don't do that. That's not.
Yeah, women are absolutely way more emotionally intelligent than men.
They're good at being managers because men are softer towards them. A dude tell me, hey, you need to pick this shit up, I'm gonna want to whoop his ass.
But you could also look at it as far as men don't, like, they're not going to respect a woman in power because they don't. You know what I'm saying? That type of authority, they don't.
Well, like, look, before we get a little further than that, I had to look it up for the stats, just for the stats.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, as far as our economy has went with you said the wage inequality, well, actually, since 2018, we're also in 2021 now, the increase of women CEOs have went up 13%.
Period, as it should.
So, that means that 37% now of women are CEOs. So that means 63% is men. So that wage inequality that we're talking about, like John said, that it's starting to go up, and the people you said they're starting to build. That is a proven fact.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah.
And like I said, that's just how I felt just noticing
the
just
workplace.
Off the
observations.
Yeah.
For sure.
Listen, we have a lot of females who were quote unquote empowered.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, think
with
about how many women
roles.
weren't ever used, like never got the opportunity to work. Like they used to not be in the workforce. Like they're now working, and it's like they're able to do things that men can do. You know what I'm saying? Like we can do. In my opinion, I still believe that.
I think that's one of the biggest things. What you just said is women can't do what men can. That was the biggest reason why there was a wage gap.
There still
and
is a wage
gender
gap.
gap.
Yes,
wage gap is still.
Just think about it. A woman can drive trucks just like a man can drive trucks.
Right. Yeah. What makes it different? Like that's what I'm saying. Like if you look at it as far as like that, like what is different?
But you don't.
We're talking about warehouse jobs. Well, let's go back to back in the day. That's that warehouse oil job.
And that's where I'm
Hard
going.
labor.
Hard labor.
Exactly. It's all about the hard labor.
I think it's the way that people perceive women as these fragile humans that just need to be like, they're just dainty and just, you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? And forget that we are complete like human beings just like y'all are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that kind of reflects into, the workforce. And I think women now are starting to understand that, they're girl boss, like that whole hashtag girl boss type thing. Cause that really is like, they were understanding like, we don't have to live in a house. We don't have to be a housewife. Like those are just like what society's like standards, expectations are, but we don't have to live by that. So like we can be our own boss type shit. Like, and most women really do want to be their own boss. Cause like honestly, nobody wanted nobody else telling them what to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
that's just a new generation thing. I think is everybody's really trying to be their own boss.
So that's honestly, that's the way to go.
Any inequality?
Well, we just went over a whole lot of inequality. Absolutely.
I think, no, there's definitely an inequality, even but I think it's getting pushed towards. Well, one, it's certain industries. Right. You know what I'm saying? One is certain industries because you got to think about the hospital and in the medical field. We're not talking about these minimum wage jobs where we're making the same like hourly wage. Like we're talking about career fields. Like these jobs. Being
like,
CEOs.
Doctors. Women doctors are not taken seriously. You know what I'm saying? They're really not. Like they're not paid the same as men at all. Like there's still a wage gap. Wage gap is still a very, very real thing in our society. Like completely. So it doesn't matter if he and I have the same qualifications and are both doctors. He's going to get paid more just off rip because he's a man. And that's still a very much problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, out completely.
Right.
Yeah, that is a problem because I feel like even like when we fill out an application, what's your starting pay?
Right.
It shouldn't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? We should start at the same pay if we're starting at the same time.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? I don't see how you can give me more money than I would give you if you're hiring us at the same time. We got the same qualifications.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that? Now that would be holding women down. Yeah. But I don't see how. Like, why would you give me extra money? You know what I'm saying? For being a man,
Can I say something?
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
I feel like this right now is.
No, you can't.
All right. Anywho, this right now is a stage where we're dealing with women. It's like the Black Lives Matter movement, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody is jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Me too.
So it's like
the feminism.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feminism bandwagon.
So now what I'm saying is, you remember it was a huge increase when let's like do black people's civil rights, where it was, they made affirmative action.
Yeah.
Where you had to have, you still do in positions, have the token black man, the token black woman, the token Mexican, Asian. So what I'm seeing, like, I'm not saying it's not real progression, but I think that a lot of this is like
performative progression.
Yeah, like, we don't have enough women, let's hire her because we're tired of women complaining. And it's like, you do that enough at enough companies, then these percentages, right? Like I just read real facts. These are real percentages that are risen, but it's like, I always have to second guess it and be like, is it real progression or is it just
right? Is it genuinely because they're qualified to be there, or is it just because you feel like they need to be there to make you look good?
Exactly,
like almost like a scapegoat type thing. Well, we're diverse here,
Exactly.
We got Asian people, we got black people, we got women. But I mean, affirmative action also was for women, but specifically white women.
And I think that was what I'm saying is that it's one of those, I feel like businesses do it a lot. Like you got that friend, like I got a black friend, like, so when I say some off the wall land and shit, like, these companies be like, they'll say some wild shit and be like, we got a black CEO. Right. like, nah, nigga, that old, just because you got a black CEO don't mean that shit wasn't racist. Like, no. We talk to him we talk to John all the time. He's a good person.
For sure.
And I feel like, but the moral is what I'm saying is that, like, that's what I'm looking at with women and the equality, the wage gap. It's still the same thing for me. It's like, I see it, but like in the back of my head, I have watched my mom work 2 jobs and I watched my dad get a job just because he was like, I'll go do the dirty work and I'll just go out there.
That was then. Let's put facts out.
Okay, let's put facts out for now.
Who has more degrees or has
women
more?
Are the most educated group. Yeah. For sure. Because they had to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to exceed these expectations.
Wait, let's not say have to be.
We do have to be. Absolutely have.
When
HAVE.
we get a certain age, we got to get the fuck out the house.
Why?
Us men. Women, they get to stay longer.
No, we didn't have a choice. That's something that's ingrained in us. You guys didn't have curfews growing up, but women did. Like, we did. We had to be regulated from a young age. Whereas meanwhile, y'all got to go run rampant and do whatever.
When a female goes into college, daddy's little girl, I'm going to take care of her. When we get into school, not only we got to play sports, but we got to go get a job too.
But you don't think women have to get jobs the same way? Like,
it's more, we're going to go percentages. We got to do that more than you ever have.
Even if you
that's why there are more degrees.
But there's more degrees because women know that they have to go through college to get money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we get educated. Like, we have to educate ourselves to make the money y'all make. You know what I'm saying? Like, without degrees type stuff. Like, we have to have that.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why most women like feel the need to even go to school. It's not just like, oh, because daddy took care of me type stuff. It's because we literally have to have that if we want to survive. Like, men can go do regular jobs and get promoted easily. Like, women are not getting promoted the same way men are at all. And if we do get promoted, it's because we have to women sometimes have to sleep their way to the top. Like, that's literally a real thing. Like, it's not like these are like opinions and stuff. Like, these are real things. And not to mention the type of misogyny that women have to deal with in the workforce to get said promotion. Like, it's completely unbalanced and not equal at all.
It's kind of easier.
But men have a choice not to be, you know what I'm saying? It's like, not like saying college is a choice because it's expensive, but I'm saying like you get the luxury of not needing a degree to actually be successful. Meanwhile, women have to have that type of accolade to be taken seriously at all in any capacity. Because
there are different fields that we can touch in that you guys
like
can.
What?
Let's say our job. My former job, his job now. Working those BPSs.
So why fired? So what would how you get fired on your day off, Craig?
So why would
I didn't get fired?
What would make that job something a woman couldn't do?
That's called fired. That's the political correct term.
I don't know if you noticed about the pandemic and
that's fired.
Yeah, but okay. what about
I'm glad you're a black brother putting other black brothers down.
Yeah, I got you. Just like you do. Just like you do.
But I'm still asking though. Yeah. So what about your old job made it? It's like, what about your old job is gender?
I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
So those tools are fucking heavy, especially when you constantly.
Yeah, but that's
around.
You using a man's view of a woman's strength.
No,
women are strong as hell. A lot stronger than y'all give them credit for. Physically wise, like.
Straight on. Okay. So we have to wear PPE, of course. Okay. Boots. Those boots were 10 pounds each. Tear the shit out your feet. Okay. We work like fucking 10, 12 hours. When I first came up in there, it was stressful.
Women take over the nursing field, right? And they have to work those same shifts on their feet.
Oh, they're so comfortable. Them clothes they got to put on, that shit is uncomfortable as fuck. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
man, y'all in scrubs. Y'all basically naked. Like, I could work naked.
It's completely disregarding the fact that, like, their work. It's not like they're just walking around doing nothing. Like, they're literally taking people's lives in their hands and making it, like, live. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're giving people life.
Then y'all get to sit down here, man. Well, let us sit down, man. Let me tell you. I sat down during my break.
Job, you had no.
They asked
you,
hey, what you doing? Man, motherfucker, I'm on 15. What else am I supposed to stand up and be on 15?
So there was no women at your job? None.
None on the floor? Hell no. No. I mean, what was it? A chicken welding? I think it was a chicken.
Let me tell you this. Back in Idaho, I used to I tried so hard to work for this construction company there because I just like that kind of stuff. And they flat out told me because I was a girl that they didn't want me in that kind of environment because of the stuff they used to say. So it's not like these. There's no women on the floor. You have to look behind the scenes and see, like, okay, why is there no women? It's not just the physicality part. Because I think,
that's why I wanted to keep going.
Because even touching on it, like I had told you earlier before, like men have this perception of women being this like dainty, like feminine person that has to be like taken care of and like babied essentially, and like they're not like, you know what I'm saying, individuals like that are strong like at all. Like, you've completely emasculated women in a sense, which is okay because women are not men, but it's not okay at the same time because you're downplaying like women's ability to like do the work you do just based off the fact that you're a man.
I got you.
But the only thing that makes you different is what's between your legs. It's nothing else.
Okay, I was on that, but I was coming to the second part.
Okay,
why there are not a lot of when it's a lot of man or workshops, whatever, they don't have a lot of female because of harassment cases.
Period, as it should be.
You know what I'm saying? Even you just looking or shit, thinking it's friendly,
right?
It's
the
friendly.
Side comments, all those things. That's all part of harassment, and that can get you in a lot of trouble for sure. Which is why they intentionally keep women out of those fields to prevent that. It's not a matter of women not being qualified enough to work in those fields. It's literally the CEO is protecting themselves by not hiring women because it just avoids that mess.
But that's babying the female.
Exactly.
Though, right?
That's what women are not wanting. This is why women are deciding to be their own boss. This is why they want to be their own boss.
Man didn't put those rules in place.
Yes, you did.
They put the woman pushed it so it can be put into there.
Since when do women ever have the power in society throughout history? When have they ever had the power?
We talked about this about civil rights and then how they pushed that through. So
but remember, it's not the same for a woman. Like I don't understand. Like I'm still trying to like understand your logic as far as like your reasoning. Like I don't understand where you think women throughout history have had power to like implement these biases. Like that's not realistic at all. That's
all
straight
these damn
men.
lawsuits. What you mean? Shit, right now, Deshaun Watson 12 counts. Fucking, sexual harassment.
Well, if you're not sexually assaulting anybody, you don't have shit to worry about, right?
But that shouldn't even. It shouldn't even be a case. It should be evidence. And there is. They just went to court and lied. We did it because he's fighting against them. He don't want to play. But they shouldn't have that much power to where they can just say somebody did this to them, and now that person.
Yeah, but most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the man probably did do something. Like I don't think you understand how common like sexual assault actually is, and not only just in the workforce. Like this is like a real fear that women have. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like
so sexual assault is the only thing that's important.
No, that's a big thing, though. Safety. You want people to be comfortable at work. You know what I mean? How can you expect somebody to work at their peak potential when they're literally like in the back of their head trying to like, you know what I'm saying, protect themselves? That's
what
not realistic.
The people that's at work and it's getting bullied?
That's the same thing.
What about the people? No.
Do they speak up though? The thing is, do you go to HR?
Sexual harassment was like the shit.
Yes, for women.
Okay, so y'all can report. Them, we can't report it. And why wind up coming to the job and
you
killing
can report.
them?
You just don't choose to. This is the same reason why men don't choose to speak out about their sexual assaults that happen to them. It's like it's almost like because it emasculates you. Admitting that
it's
you're
embarrassing.
You know what I'm saying? It literally challenges your manhood in a sense. That's why men don't come out and
shit.
talk about it, but it happens. Like it does. Majority of men that I know literally were sexually assaulted, and they just don't like talking about it because it emasculates them. Yeah. So these are the exact reasons why they don't go and report it to HR. I'm being bullied because as a man, they're gonna look at you like you're a grown ass man. Like get over it.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been sexually harassed at work.
It happens. It literally happens. And the thing is, it's not okay. It's not okay when a woman does it, and it's not okay when a man does it.
It's not okay, but I think like men, for some reason, like we have like you say, it does like emasculate us and shit. But for me, like I'm just speaking for me, like I ignore the fuck out of it. Like I know like what we're all talking about, like women, the difference is in women, like y'all will definitely go to corporate, y'all will go to see, because it's like, that's a big issue, that's a problem. Like you don't do that. Like for a man, when a woman does it, like I'm such a simp. Like I'm like, if I go to corporate and I tell them like I'm worried about like how she gonna feed her family, her kids, like I don't want you to get fired over this like simple ass thing. But it's like with women on the other hand, like I don't know if it's like just like, and you said earlier, like, we got way more emotional intelligence, and that could be intelligent to be like, it's not okay, I feel uncomfortable.
Right.
But for a man, it's just like, I feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, I'm willing to make this risk and take this sacrifice, knowing that it won't. But also, let's get there.
It's not going to mess you up.
I'm about to get there with that. Like, for women, they're scared of us because of the physical strength and shit, and they think that they can actually physically be harmed. Yeah. Me as a woman, if a woman hit on me, she 5'3", about 160, 140, I'm over here 5'10", basically touching about 240 right now. I'm not intimidated by it. It's like, you say something to me, I'm like, I will slap the dog shit out of you. You feel me? And that's serious though. And I can like go past and keep doing my job. For a woman, on the other hand, they do something, let's say switching around, that 5'3", 140 lady, I come up, I'm like, you looking good tonight, little mama. Like start touching on. She like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying?
So what happened to that? I can hold my own ground and shit.
Women
like,
can,
just like
but
guys.
There's no denying the difference in physicality between men and women. Like the thing is, men are stronger. You know what I'm saying? These things are not like but women are not. We take those things into consideration. It's just the thing is like being a woman, like you have to take extra precaution to make sure you're safe. Like I guarantee when y'all walk out of a store, you're not worried about somebody snatching your ass up out the parking lot. Like that's not something you worry about. You don't have to carry. You don't have to. You don't carry. You know what I'm saying? Do you carry mace around on you? You know what I'm saying? At all times. Like,
I keep that thing on me at all times.
You know what I'm saying? But like women are having to take extra precautions to make sure that their safety is still intact. Meanwhile, men don't have to think about those same things. You guys can walk and go run on a street at night. I'm not saying it's okay and safe for everybody, but for the most part, women are not doing that. Like we don't have that luxury of like protection about us at all. Like it's just not something we get. And that's the same thing in in the workforce. Like we have to take extra precautions to make sure that we're safe. Like we have, we go to HR because that's uncomfortable. Like there's no way that a woman is literally going to work in the environment where she feels like, I don't know how to explain that feeling, but it's literally the most disgusting feeling to feel is like that, like men like harassing you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
My point, what I was trying to say was like, okay, so when I said mine, I was like, I've been sexually harassed. Like, at any point in time, like I'm not trying to. I don't know if you have or isn't, but like just speaking from the woman's perspective, do y'all ever think about like the consequences of what could happen to like that person? Because like I just sat there and I'm like, the reason I won't do it because I know she got kids, she works. You know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all like? I'm not saying it's right to not snitch, but I'm saying like, do y'all think that I don't want to go? Yeah, like I don't want to go to HR even because I didn't know. I didn't been in a manager position and someone we had to fire someone for sexual harassment. Yeah, and what it was, I didn't think that it was like important enough for someone to get fired. Right. But she went there.
Some people are extremely petty. I'm not saying every situation when people go to HR is like it is sexual assault. Like because some people aren't. Like there's girls I've witnessed, and even in my workforce, that will flirt with the dude and he'll flirt back, and she's like, "No, you can't do that." And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So why is it okay if you do it, but he can't? So there is definitely for sure a double standard with what's allowed to be like what's taken seriously when it's reported. But nonetheless, statistics do make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the facts are there. It's not a matter of opinion. Like it's definitely more dangerous for a woman to be there than a man, period. So
but again, do you guys think of that?
I think they do to an extent. I think they do, but they also say like if that stuff really mattered to you, you wouldn't have did what you did. Okay. It's just like, raping somebody. Like you don't want me because this, because this happens. Like even with like rape and sexual assault with that, like most girls don't end up going to like whenever they do go to the police, it's not taken seriously. So even like our pleas and stuff aren't. So it's a matter of like we consider it, but at the same time we don't because our safety is the priority, period. You know what I'm saying? Our safety is.
I feel that.
What?
That doesn't sound equal at all. Well, I'm feel threatened sometimes.
You can feel threatened, but do you do anything about it though? That's the thing.
No. So it's people. So
this is the thing. If more men would feel like if more men, because the thing is, I've witnessed even women just being mad, just aggy towards men, just really like, bro, you're violating, like straight violating, like. But a man's not gonna say shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is if you don't speak out and say something, how do you expect people to do something?
You can't. Okay, so check this out. Situation. You know what I'm talking about, but we're gonna leave with it. Okay. Big guy. Okay. Me. Yeah. People say stuff or try and say I did this or whatever. They're gonna believe that maybe he is trying to inflict harm towards this person. Yeah. Come find out, I'm the one that's getting harm done too. But they're going to believe that smaller person over me.
You want to know why? That's literally the patriarchy. That's because the system that men created is literally not even working for you either.
It ain't at all.
Period. You know what I'm saying? This patriarchy fails everybody completely. Does. So it's like you're upset about these things, and I think it's completely valid to be, to feel what you're feeling. The things you're saying is valid. Like, but there's nothing else you can do but talk to the men in charge. Like that's a man's world that we're living in, genuinely. Just because women have power doesn't mean we're at the top of the food chain, like at all. We're not, and far from it. You know what I'm saying? And with the little bit of power we have, some women do take advantage of that. And it does hurt people that really don't deserve to be hurt. And that's also, again, the patriarchy's fault. Yeah. Because it's not equal.
I think, like you said, it's not equal. I mean, I actually literally hate just everything about society. Like we could really just have a whole episode, just like fuck society, blood, fuck gender roles, fuck male roles, female, like fuck all of this shit. Because I'm tired of it. I ain't asked for this shit. Like I tell my mama all the time, I didn't ask to be here. Like, they be like, I'm gonna take you out. I'm like, are you sure you gonna do it? Quick. But in a more serious tone on it, it's just that, like I said, bro. All of this right now is what we're saying is with women in the workforce, with women in sports, with women in everything, we gotta just bring it all into one. Like women are important; they are an important part of our society.
You wouldn't exist without them.
We wouldn't. We would not. I'm saying we would not. And it's like,
what?
They trying to make it possible for guys to have babies.
That's
They're
actually
making it
no. It's
impossible.
actually not. It's the opposite. Now we can have a society without men because women can actually reproduce with other women due to our bone marrow, and it will only reproduce women. They haven't figured that out for y'all yet.
okay. Anywho,
But anyway,
Too much.
but back to the point, man. Like,
Too much knowledge, my bad.
we really go get into this, like, to bring it all tied back together. Is that women, like what we talked about, women are coming up.
yeah,
Women are important. Women are great athletes. Women need more coverage. Also, we can agree that men in the workforce and women in the workforce are treated unfairly in both sides.
yeah.
So with all of that being said, it's just that I think that as a society and as our views need to change and need to update, because I feel like there's too many old fashioned traditional roles.
It's super subjective.
You know, with
It's
a
like,
modern,
yeah.
you feel me? We're a modern era using traditional shit. It's like you can't get new school results with old school thinking.
Yeah. it's
So
not-
I don't know, man. I don't know how else y'all feel about the subject, but like just touching on it and getting the opinions from Drea.
It's definitely a huge gap, and shout out to her who played college basketball. Knew
Shout
about
out
the
Dre.
Title IX and everything like that. That's
She ain't,
that.
but we done
that opened-
invited her. She don't want this work though.
well, I will do you that. Don't do that.
opened my
I'll
eyes.
fuck you up.
We
Don't
going
do that.
hooping soon, man.
Say less. Don't
Anyway,
play
go
with
ahead.
me.
You got it, John. But I'm just
Aight.
saying, saying.
I'm posting shit up. That's all I know.
Don't play with me.
Real
I was
facts.
Broad Javis shit off the
Real
I'm not
backboard.
worried about it. Not even close worried about it.
Shit.
All right.
Damn.
No, but there is a huge gap, and I mean, I don't know if anything will ever get done about it, but
I think it's still we're still so just like we talked about last time as far as like this, the equality as far as being black and stuff, like we're still at the very beginning of this like movement. You know what I'm saying? Like we've come a long ways, but we still have so far to go. So I feel like people got to pace themselves and give themselves grace. You know what I'm saying? We definitely deserve grace during this, like, because it's definitely rewiring. You know what I'm saying? Like the older generation ingrained in us. Actually not ingrained, they indoctrinated us to believe a certain way and act a certain way, and it's essentially our responsibility to change the way we think so that our youth comes up and is more accepting and open-minded. You know what I'm saying? It's a process, and I think we have to give everybody grace for this process because a lot of times it's not your fault. You're a product of your environment. We are a product of the society and the way we think here. You know what I'm saying?
Everything is about being progressive.
Period.
The slaves had to learn they weren't slaves.
Period.
Civil rights people had to learn that we have rights. I mean,
Yeah.
now we're in the stage where we're like, yeah, y'all gave us our rights, but now we want it all.
Period.
We
We
want
coming for what
it
we want,
all.
yeah.
I always say this is just a different topic, off topic, but I love this quote and I love that people say it. Like, I feel like white America should be like so grateful and thankful that black people don't want revenge.
I think that's why they're
They
scared.
just want
I
equality.
think this is why they're scared of certain things like that, though, is just because it's almost like a guilty conscience. They feel like if they give us the positions of power that they've had throughout history, like
They're
we're going to
saying,
turn around and do
right.
the exact same thing. And I'm like, yeah, right. Realistically, we should. We
I was
really
like, hey,
should be.
look, shit, I wouldn't mind having a
and,
job.
and that's why they're scared of unity. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Because if there was unity in the black community,
Right.
real fucking unity,
Right.
then it would change the whole game.
Period.
And they're really scared of if we come together as one, we're going to
Not
take
only the
the
black
shit
community,
over.
but imagine if there's unity with like all the minority communities anyway. Because it's
Right.
not
Yeah.
like black people are the only ones exclusively facing racism. Like,
No.
you know what I'm saying? I know y'all saw what recently happened with like the Asian
Oh yeah, man.
that was murdered and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and they turn around and justify it with the white man having a bad day. The usual whatever. How they defended domestic terrorists, it's fine. But even imagine if our communities of color joined together and stopped being at odds with each other.
Yeah.
You realize they outnumber the white community, right? Like we would outnumber these things, and we would be able to look out for each other in ways that white people never have. And I just feel like this is why they continue to do the things they do in society, and it doesn't change in that aspect, because if we were to unite, change would literally have to happen. It's inevitable at that point. And I feel like that's why everything is done to keep us at odds with each other over stupid, petty shit. Like,
And that's all it is. They since the beginning, since we've had, basically our all of our rights and we're considered humans, they've pretty much just been putting us against each other so we can never come up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We don't have to fight them.
Right.
We already fighting them in the workplace.
They already fighting each
But
other,
as
and
far
they're fighting
as-
each other. Like we ain't got to do the hard work; they're doing it for us. Like
Facts.
same with our
Exactly.
community. They got us at odds with each other, and not even knowing that if we were to join together, just even with the black community, like how powerful that shit used to be. But we used to have society, our own self-sustaining economies within black communities, and they completely destroyed those.
Oh yeah, man. Every time we try
know
to
what
do
I'm saying?
anything productive,
because
with the black man,
of
come
what
on.
came about it, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not just for like racism; it's the fact that our our money was not going to no white man's pocket. It was literally circulating around our community and just building
that was
it.
the problem.
Now white people come into our community and give us their money, but we couldn't go and give it theirs. So it was almost like we just figured it out. You know what I'm saying? We got it. And even after being oppressed and slaves for I don't know how many years that shit was, like, we still came out on top.
Yep.
And found a way to be, high functioning in society and still making more than what they do. And I still feel like
Black that's why they came to Tulsa and burned that shit down.
It was hundreds of communities like Tulsa. I feel like Tulsa and like the Sequoia Park or whatever, where the Central Park and stuff. All this stuff
Central Park,
all like there's multiple like throughout all over the United States that were like that were literally destroyed like by our government.
Yep, by the government.
And then now you have our own communities. You move them into the ghettos or these, low income areas. It's essentially the same fucking thing. Like they're monitoring you. You know what I'm saying? They put they put these drugs in our communities for these reasons. Like it's definitely all
it's all to keep us
It's all
down.
connected, yeah. And the thing is like you can't just attack it at the top. You have to attack it at the root or else it's just going to keep coming back type shit. So the thing is, I think people are focused on the wrong shit when they're trying to tackle these problems. You're focused on like the surface level stuff, and we need to get under like, you know what I'm saying? We got to get down, like literally grab that shit by the balls, dead ass. Like it's like there's no way.
It's got balls.
It do. It's a man's world.
God, man.
It's got white balls, and they're probably hairy. You know what I'm saying? Like probably wrinkly too. Like ew.
All right, hold on, wait. So look, man, let's get some final takes on the women NCAA.
Okay,
What's your final take, McGraw, on the NCAA and everything that happened? What's your final take on that one?
Yeah, it's fucked up, but it's the truth. Like,
What's the truth?
What's the truth?
What's the truth? I just had to say.
Okay,
that.
so have you like seen one of their games before?
Hell yeah, it's
Have you
entertaining.
ever played against a Division I athlete in your life?
You said what?
Have you ever played against a Division I athlete?
No,
like that?
I'm not talking about they're playing like they're playing, ma'am. I'm just saying the
like,
crowd.
So the thing is,
we
know, but the thing is, we've already established that revenue doesn't matter with college sports. Like you're making it.
My nigga said, "Check my stats."
Well, because
check my stats.
What'd you say?
What was that?
That's a lot of coochie grabs. But what you say?
Why they got to be coochie grabbers?
Because they ain't nuts. Play. I can't say nuts because it's a whole.
You could say, I just said grab society by its hairy white balls. Like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, nigga. Like, what you
imagine that?
But I gave you a
But
nice
look, bro.
visual.
So again, what's your final take on it? You said it's true, or you feel like it was fair?
I understand why.
Okay.
I said it's not cool, but I understand why.
All right, that's Big Rob. John, what's your final take on it, man?
Me personally, it's fucked up. Straight up, that shit needs to be even. But just like I brought up from the very beginning, I think it's a revenue thing,
right?
As far as the money that's being brought in, even though you're saying it gets
with NCAA,
distributed differently,
right?
I think it's more of like a revenue thing. Hey, they might not bring in as much money. They don't need as much when it comes to it, but they really do. You know what I'm saying? Even they should have the same exact fucking equipment. Every from the top to the bottom.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's fucked up, and they need to get that shit straight. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
For sure.
What about you, Joe?
I mean, obviously, you already know where I stand with this. I definitely think that's wrong in every aspect of it because I know the ins and outs of it. I know it's not about revenue. You know what I'm saying? I know revenue with the NCAA has nothing to do with the fact that they just disregarded women. You know what I'm saying? And downplayed that. So now we're talking about the NBA and WNBA. Like that's a whole different. You know what I'm saying? I completely understand why they do what they do because women are not bringing in the money like they think because they're going overseas and making their money.
For sure.
Period. You know what I'm saying? So with it just being, if we're just talking about the NCAA, I think that's completely wrong and it's irresponsible and unexcusable in my opinion.
And supposed to be getting paid this year. It's 2021, 22, right? They're supposed to be getting paid.
College
players supposed to be getting paid.
They started getting paid actually.
I think some people in
college
USC
athletes get paid monthly now, but it used to only be like the male football players that used to got paid. But now all of the athletes are getting like their checks or whatever on top of whatever else they get. So we're making slow progress through do these things. I mean, it's definitely going to be a work in progress, but what happened this year is completely unacceptable, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really is unacceptable.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, crazy.
Shit. Me, my final take again, like I said already, man.
Nobody care.
I care.
Thank you, but this the same nigga over here was crying when I told him he got fired because he got laid off. Why you trying to put down black nigga? Shut us out of here, fired this shit. Anywho, you got fired, brother.
Got another job.
Anywho, like I said, the point and the thing that's need to be said is women, women are, that shit that happened in NCAA is definitely unfair. I think that's not cool. I hate to use the word cool, but it's not fair. The treatment, it showed a lot, and it shows a lot that we are working towards something, but we are still missing a lot. Like, we are trying to get better as a community, get better as people, but that situation with the NCAA just basically showed me that we still have
a long way to go.
So much way to go. If any NCAA women, D1, D2, D3, D4, whatever you at, junior college, y'all watching this, we support y'all, and we hope that y'all get the best shit that y'all can get, man. And that's it. That's all.
No, I was actually talking to my homeboy who played. He played in JUCO, D3, D2. But they got a lot of shit too. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
not okay. See,
I mean, of course, you're not gonna get the same as NCAA D1, but they got a lot of shit too. So
I feel like no matter what school you're going to, you need to be taken care of as an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not
especially a D1 school.
Because you're not a regular student, and your schedule is way more like you. It's not like you putting in way more work than a regular student, because you got to maintain your grades like a regular student and maintain your, like, you know what I'm saying, your body, your sports. Like, you have to. It's just, they deserve more. Like, personally,
what would be the solution?
Well, I mean, they've already worked towards it. So they started paying their athletes now. So now college athletes can get paid. They also in California changed it to where you can get sponsored, essentially. Like, you can use your likeness as like to make yourself money. Like, if I have hella followers on Instagram, like a lot of these athletes do now, they can make money off that now. Before they were not allowed to. It was banned by the NCAA. So I think it was, we slowly start to implement that across, all the schools. I think we've got, like, you know what I'm saying? It looks good. I see the light at the end of the tunnel type stuff, but it's just going to be a long tunnel. That's all.
No, it's definitely going to be a long time. Literally, last year, that's when they passed the kids who can get paid off of their likeness. Right. But, I mean, that's even fishy for me, because, okay, you get somebody like Zion, who's, everybody knew him coming through college.
Right.
He's going to make money.
Right.
Period.
But the other guy who just got, you know what I'm saying, got signed from a smaller school, is like, he's not going to make any money, so you don't have to really worry about that. But they do.
So this is why, now on top of that, that's why they implemented, now the NCAA does give them a regular, like almost like athletes do get like a stimulus check every like semester. They get one, like I think it's every month or something like that. They do get paid. So because even before, like a lot of athletes, like, not a lot, like some of them, their parents made too much, they didn't get the financial aid, so they were completely like high and dry, no money, you know what I'm saying? So now they started paying athletes on top of whatever financial aid you get, whether or not you do or don't, you get a check regardless. So they're starting to slowly implement these things where they're taking care of these athletes and making sure that they can live and still enjoy, have it like a normal life outside of just school and basketball or whatever sport you're playing in college at the time. But it's getting there slowly but surely.
So, man, can I get that March Madness outro? Can I get the March Madness?
No, I'm gonna do the outro. We're gonna go out at about an hour real quick. But one thing I wanted to ask y'all was, I know y'all, you got therapy, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You do therapy as well, right?
Yep.
And like I said, I've always encouraged it. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
I'll never look down on nobody who be like, hey, I got therapy. You know what I'm saying? Right. But one of my things was, and I don't know what kind of made me come to this, but how do y'all kind of cope with stress? You know what I'm saying?
Smoke weed.
Your everyday just bullshit that you go through. How do y'all cope with that?
Well, in my therapist's words, Ray, you're not bipolar.
And we don't have to go through. We don't have to go about this long, but you know what I'm saying, just to finish out the hour and everything. How do y'all kind of cope with y'all stress? Because I don't have no outlets. Well, I have a couple.
I do drugs.
I have a couple, but
we don't promote.
But don't do that.
Uses of
honestly, if
all you need is love.
You ask how I cope.
It's just weed.
It's just water.
It's just water. I cope with organic drugs like shrooms and weed, not the stuff that's like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing all that crap.
We do not promote coke.
No pill stuff.
Yeah, I don't pop pills. I don't do coke. We don't do none of the hard drugs. Sprite. Like, I smoke weed and I do shrooms. Like, I eat shrooms. But at the same time, like, that's not a healthy coping mechanism. I feel like you should be able to cope without drugs, without needing those things. Mm-hmm. So, like, for me, that is a terrible coping mechanism because it just numbs shit. Like, it doesn't make me, like, face the shit I'm going through.
Well,
But meditation does help. If I'm not smoking or anything, I do meditate.
Meditate, yeah. That is you have to do your breathing exercises.
Yep. Got to regulate
There's
that.
3 things I learned through therapy. You got to know that everybody who they're going to be who they are.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Just like I had to learn through my little situation, I had to know that this guy's sorry. He can't help that. He came in the world and he's a sorry motherfucker. He can't help that.
He might think the same shit about you though.
No, you don't. That's why people trying to get rid of me because I'm competition that they can't level up to. Anyway,
I think highly of yourself, brother.
No, it's the truth, and I make sure I push it forward.
Again, think highly of yourself. That's good.
I mean, you should be your own biggest fan.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. You have to realize and know that people are going to be who they are, and you have to be okay with that. Second, I learned is to actually be mad or be sad. Yeah,
Like,
I know it sounds
let yourself feel.
Yeah, you have to but don't let it make you make a decision while you're like that.
Don't let it dwell in you.
But be mad, be upset, be like, fuck, okay. I felt that shit.
Yeah, you definitely want to acknowledge those emotions are there because they're there for a reason.
And third, you absolutely have to vent it out. If you don't, it's gonna bottle inside, and then it's gonna turn to be worse.
Yeah.
So those are my little steps, to get myself right.
Sure.
What about you, Saif?
What's your coping mechanisms?
Man, y'all know what?
No, but I would like to know.
Man, honestly, I grew up in anger management and shit. So I've been like most of my life trying to, just tune that out and tune it in. That's somewhat like therapy. It's not therapy, but it's close enough to it. The way I cope now is just literally just, you feel me? I deal. I just I'm gonna go off of what Riley said. Like I just deal with my emotions. I try not to let my emotions get the best of me. Cause some days I know I'm more emotional than the next day. And everyone goes through things right now. Like right now I'm doing this podcast with a heavy heart. So I don't know if my family listen, but just want to say RP to my uncle, due to my, I miss you. And you know what I'm saying? We still dealing with it, but this right here is like a coping mechanism. Being around people that I love, people that love me back, people that support me, and just the people who are watching on live right now, my friends, families, I appreciate y'all. So the way I deal with life and deal with things is literally, like I said, man, I feel it and I don't let it get the best of me. I let myself cry. Before I came here, I let myself,
as you should.
You know what I'm saying? Let myself cry, let myself feel, let myself be angry, let myself have that time with myself just by myself. That's another thing. People are always so quick to go out and quick to, they want to be that party pooper. I feel like if I'm too sad or, you know what I'm saying? And I tell them, I'll tell people, I'm like, today is not a good day for me.
Because I sure will bring down the vibe.
Exactly.
Honestly,
I was supposed to hang out, I think on Saturday, someone was like, hey, come outside. And then I had just received some other news and I was just like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. I don't have the emotional capacity to deal with that.
Exactly.
Kind of stuff right now.
So, like I say, let people, if you out there, be sad, you know what I'm saying? Be happy. Don't let niggas call you a simp. If you got something you got to get off your chest to somebody, say it to them.
Or be a simp. There's honestly nothing wrong. I think even the word simp has a negative connotation. There's nothing wrong with that. Sure. Because I just feel like all a simp means is that you respect a woman. That's it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people just think that if you give a woman the benefit of the doubt,
it's simps be out there tricking though.
But there do be men. But the thing is so what? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Whatever people do is none of your fucking business.
Hey, that is a good point. I like that. Yeah, I like that. What about you, Big John? What you got?
Shit, I mean, I agree with Drake. You know what I'm saying? I lean on them. You know what I'm saying? Them good old.
No, it doesn't.
That good old. You know what I'm saying? That good old greenery that comes from the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Mary J.
And outside that, my thing is I like to get my aggression off from, going to work out.
Yep.
I used to eat. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be one of those.
I binge, and it's not good.
I for real used to be one of those people. If I was sad, I'll just sit there and eat.
Or don't eat. We gotta talk about that.
I wish I was one of those that couldn't eat and didn't eat, but no.
You ain't never been so sad. You just be looking at your plate.
I get sad and I eat. It's it's opposite for me, and I binge when I do it, and then I feel bad after I binge, and then I cry about it. And
I went through a girl phone one time. I swear to you, I went through a girl phone one time. I didn't eat for 1 week. I had to just drink liquids, man. I don't know I don't know who told me to do that, but I went through her phone and I swear to you, I was just drinking smoothies and eating salads and shit. Like, fellas, don't ever go through her phone. Just
bro, do
let
not
it go.
do that.
Just let it happen.
You gonna find what you looking for,
right? If you cheat, if she cheating, it's gonna happen. But
listen,
don't find it.
Like I said last time, what other people do with your trust is none of your business. As long as you trust yourself enough to leave if they mess you up, that's all that matters. Honestly, it don't matter what they do at all.
Man,
period.
Please don't go through that phone, y'all.
That's their business.
Because y'all gonna need one of these coping mechanisms that we give you.
Oh God, listen, you gonna need a lot of drugs.
You gonna need them drugs.
Swear to God. No, ma'am, I'm good. We don't play those games.
but no, I asked that because I was just like, man, everybody has different coping mechanisms, and we all go through shit. We all go through shit every single day. You know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to get kind of what y'all do and what other black people do as far as just trying to deal with our daily shit.
Yeah, and we do be dealing with daily shit though.
Bullshit. We definitely deal with the daily shit.
There's a lot of bullshit, man. Let's talk about that one day.
One of these days. But this was a real good podcast. I'm glad we went in on the whole March Madness subject.
Hey.
But
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? We'll be back again. It's your boy John B. Who I'm with.
It's your girl DeRay. Y'all can follow me at Beat by Dre on Instagram.
Go.
Oh shit, man! It's the boy, the one, the only, the boy, the Don, young wife, the young son. Follow me on Instagram, Cypher Daddy, the real playboy from the Bay Boy. Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. Cypher Daddy, follow me, bro.
He got the whole intro.
Oh God, I need to get one.
He's waiting
write
for
me
this
one,
shit
please.
today, man.
It's the ism. It's either in you or it ain't, man. You can't write it down.
And throw Ride Low 2020, baby. Fuck with me.
Yeah, y'all go follow us all on the IG. We got all the videos coming. We got all the episodes dropping soon.
Oh yeah,
we about to go.
You get a car. You get a car. What the fuck you look like?
Which can I get for?
Hey.
Oprah. I know, right?
Hey man, John, tell him, man. We got tomorrow. We got the YouTube live stream. Y'all should definitely, man, follow that.
No, for real. Yeah, if you on live right now and y'all hearing this, definitely got that YouTube live coming tomorrow. Bro, we finna be pulling out all the content, all the stops.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Y'all with us now. Y'all gonna be with us forever.
Right.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in, listening, watching. If you're on the YouTube, I appreciate y'all for being here. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we all happy, healthy. No, I ain't gonna say happy. I'm glad we all healthy and here. You know what I'm saying?
I am really happy.
No, I appreciate y'all for another good episode, man. We out, baby.
All right, y'all.
Oh man.